Hey guys, I wanted to do a quick lesson about modes, kind of like just a review tutorial of what we covered in class. Make sure things are kind of solidifying mentally with this concept. It's not really an easy concept to pick up right away, but once it clicks, it's there, and it's a really useful thing to have a few different strategies for. So I'm going to show you a couple strategies right now and go through some examples. So what I have on the screen here is a Google Doc that I shared with you. So I'm not going to go through and just read this, but I do want to point out some of the highlights and just talk about what's important to know. So the modes are built by taking one collection of notes, and the first case I'm going to work with here is C major. So taking one collection of notes and just rotating them to make each new scale degree the tonic. So we start off with the first mode, which is called Ionian, and that just sounds like a major scale. And if you rotate it by one and make the next note, scale degree 2, our tonic, then we have a kind of different sound going on. So you could think about it as like D to D, or scale degree 2 to scale degree 2. And the pattern continues, right? So you can rotate the collection one more and go scale degree 3 to 3, and all the way up till you get to 7 to 7. This particular example stops at the last what I would call functional mode, which is the Aeolian mode, but which is 6 to 6. But you can go 7 to 7, which I will do at the end of this document. But for our functional purposes, the 7th mode, Locrian, is really not a tonal mode. So we'll leave that for another day. So you can try these on your own. You can take one melody, like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and just kind of memorize when you're playing it on the keyboard, you can memorize the fingers that you need and play it, but starting on a different note. So start on C and go from C to G for your first interval, and it will sound normal. But as you move your hand along to the different positions, starting on D and so on, you'll get a different sound. So I'll leave that to you to check out on your own. But let's take a look at some examples from popular music that will help us get an idea for the sound and what to look for. So one thing that I've pointed out here in bold is that knowing the order of modes, which I've got here, Ionian 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Aeolian 6. Knowing that order is helpful if you can see the sheet music. If you're just listening, I'll give you a different strategy for that. But if you can see the sheet music, knowing the order of modes is good. So we'll take a look first at sheet music for Get Lucky. So I transcribed this out into Noteflight. If you have a Noteflight account, cool. If you don't, you can make one for your personal purposes, but I'm also going to give you a Noteflight Learn account probably within the next couple of days. But anyway, let's check this one out. We'll listen to it, do a little bit of analysis, and then we'll talk about why it is in B Dorian. So here we go. Okay, so that's an excerpt from it. Let's do a little analysis here. So melodically, it's not very easy for us to sort of figure out that B is our tonic. But if we look at the chords, it is kind of a giveaway. So our chords, baseline is on B. We're making a B minor chord here. And every time you'll notice every sort of 4 measures, we come back to our tonic chord. So B here, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's B again. 2, 3, 4, B again, and so on. You can also see it in the end of the chorus. Here, we hang out on B quite a bit. The end of the chorus definitely focuses on B as a tonic. So those are our giveaways. Now, the weird part is we see the key signature is A major. So if the key signature is A major, but the piece implies a tonic of B, then what we do is we go through the A major scale until we find B and figure out what scale degree that is. Luckily, it's pretty close, right? A, B, scale degree 2. So knowing that, we can then say, all right, scale degree 2 is our tonic. So what was mode number 2? Ionian, Dorian. So the Dorian mode is the mode for this particular piece. So let's check out a couple others. So the theme from The Simpsons, I transcribed this one the same way. This is by composer Danny Elfman. So let's check this one out. Okay, just a quick excerpt from that one as well. And in this one we have da da dum, and this, there's not a lot of melody going on, but if you look at the beginning of each phrase, so here's do, comes in on the end of, or on beat 4 rather. Then here's another phrase that starts on C. And we're cutting off mid-phrase, so we'll start with what I've given you here. So if C is our tonic and our key signature is the key signature for G major, which is a 1 sharp, then all we need to do is go through the G scale, G, A, B, C, until we reach our tonic, which is C. That is scale degree 4 according to our key signature here of G major. So scale degree 4, all right, that's the new tonic. Let's see, what's mode number 4? Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian. Lydian is mode number 4, therefore the piece is in Lydian mode. The characteristic of Lydian mode is sharp 4. Major scale with a sharp 4, or a raised 4 you could say. Now, what's cool about this theme is it gives it away in the first interval of the melody. Let's listen to it once more. That's it. Do, fi, sol. There you have on F sharp, your sharp 4. Very nice example. Okay, next one is going to be Norwegian Wood by the Beatles. You may or may not know this song, but you should check it out. It's a pretty fun song. So here we go. Okay, so the first note of the melody is sol. I'm going to move this thing over a little bit. There we go. Alright, so sol is the first bit of the melody. So you have sol, do, that puts do right here on E. Again, it's not immediately apparent by the melody, but if you look at the chords, we have an E major chord for quite a while, and then it comes back to E again. We definitely start and end on an E chord with sol as the melody. So if E is our tonic and the key signature is A, then we start from A, We go A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, or sorry, A, B, C sharp, D. I was thinking about the key signature for E. And then E will be scale degree number 5. Okay, scale degree 5 is E. That means we're on the 5th mode. So Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian. So this piece is an E Mixolydian. All right, we got one more. Oh, Mixolydian, of course, is the major scale with a flat 7. So in our case here, we'll have like an E major scale minus the D sharp, so it'll be D natural. Okay, and then finally another Beatles tune, Eleanor Rigby. Really cool song. Oh, went to the wrong one. I must have linked that one twice. Yeah, sorry. Let me find it in here. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. I will fix that link. So this melody will start on Fa. Here it is. So that puts E as our tonic. Bum. And again, we can see that from the chords, less so from the melody. Da 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 da. There's our tonic there. We have an E minor chord in the first couple of measures. Basically switches back between E minor and C major. So, knowing that E is our tonic, let's look at the key signature. We have 2 sharps. That is the key signature for D major. So let's find where E is in the D scale. So D, E, scale degree 2. That means we're on mode 2. Ionian, Dorian. Dorian is a minor sound with a raised 6. So we have like Do, Me, Fa, Sol. We'll have a natural minor, so we have D natural, but then here we have a C sharp, which in E natural minor, that would not be there. That would be C natural, or yeah, C natural. It does then, of course, go back to C natural here, so it's not a complete E Dorian, but that's why I wrote mostly. It starts off in E Dorian, and then it switches back to like C major or perhaps E natural minor. Okay, so there's a couple of ways to recognize the scale if you can see the music. If you can't see the music, you kind of have to listen. So in this section, I've broken down the modes into what I call their parent modes, being major or minor. So here we have the major sounding modes, which will both contain a major third, do, re, mi, but with one alteration. So we have in Mixolydian, it's like major with a flat 7. In Lydian, it's like major with a sharp 4. Then over here on the minor modes, we have Dorian, which is like minor with a raised 6, and Phrygian, which is like minor with a lowered 2. So let's hear the major modes first. It'll open a new tab, but I'll come back to this one. I think it'll open a new tab. There we go. Guess I have to play it. Okay, so there's our major scale. Next will be Mixolydian. You can hear te. Next is Lydian. You'll hear fi. Okay, then the minor sounding modes, we'll do those next. Play. Yeah, that's our natural minor, then Dorian with raised 6. Phrygian with flat 2. Okay, so there we have it. That's if you're hearing the modes, those are the things you should listen for. And really, if you think about it, there's only 4 modes then that we don't know, and those are the ones with altered scale degrees. And each of them only has a single changed scale degree. So that's not too bad to remember. So here I've broken them down, color-coded with their particular changes. Then I've written down a step-by-step direction to construct a mode. I've also shared a note flight score that contains the modes with their solfegges, and you can listen to it. These are all based on C. And then at the bottom, this is what you've seen before, I believe. I did a little hook theory diagram for each mode, so that you can visualize where the half steps and whole steps are, as well as the solfege. Okay, so that is there for your sort of reference, I guess, if you are working on that mode worksheet. Take your time, make sure you know these things. Like I said before, they will appear on the AP exam a little bit, but you want those times when they do appear to be your gimme questions. You want to be able to just kind of blast through those so you can get on to the more time-consuming stuff. Okay, so I will call it there. That is all for today. Good luck, and as usual, let me know if you have questions. Send me an email. I'll be happy to help.